And your big toes to touch your knees wide and sit your hips back to your heels. Come right up onto your fingertips and allow your chest to sink down. And creating a bit more room underneath your armpits. You might hug your shoulder blades onto your back as you lengthen your back. And walk your hands over to the right. Keep up on your fingertips and press your left heel to your left hip. And walk your hands over to the other side. Right hip to right heel. And then come up, hands to the middle, come up to your hands and your knees. Turn your hands around so your fingers face towards your knees. You want to space your hands far enough apart that there's room for your shoulders. And extend your right leg out. So we can press into your hands and lift your back up. Notice if your right hip is sort of lifted up higher. Try and angle your right hip down, bring your low belly in. Reach and press out through your lifted foot as you press your hands into the mat. Open your wrists and your forearms. You're going to bring your right knee down. And turn your hands the other way. So the backs of your hands are down and your fingers face towards your knees still. And a couple of breaths like that. You can slide your hips to your heels a little bit to take some pressure off your wrists. And then turn them back. The fingers still face towards your knees, but your palms are down now, just like we did when we lifted the right leg. And now lift your left leg, extend. You'll notice if you're leaning to one side more than the other. See if you can even off, pull into center. Notice what's happened with your breath. And then bring your knee down. And once again, turn the backs of your hands down. And press your thumbs and your pinky fingers into the mat. And then lean back as much as your wrists allow to open up your forearms and your wrists in a different way than when you have your palms face down. And then plant your hands back to the mat in the usual way that we do it. Notice the shift there, not only in your wrists, but is there an energetic feeling that goes with it as you tuck your toes and lift your hips. Keep your heels lifted, keep your knees bent. Press your torso back towards your thighs. Look towards your toes. And then straighten up your legs. Press your torso back towards your thighs. Lift your heels really high. Keep your heels lifted. Bend your knees. And drop both heels towards the right. So down dog, side bend. So lengthening the left side, particularly your left hip. And inhale up to center and exhale over to the other side. So heels go to the left. Press your torso back towards your thigh. And then come to center. Come to your hands and your knees. Swivel your right foot off the mat and extend your left leg out, sole of your foot on the floor, and raise your left arm up into the air. This is option one. Option two, you can lift your left foot up off the mat and try and turn your heart more towards the side. Stack up your hip and then look down your leg. See if you can see your toes. So often we have the leg way back. And bring your hands and your knee, your hand and your knee down to the mat, switch sides. So your left knee stays down, swivel your foot off, extend your right leg. Have it on the mat first. As you reach up, press into your fingertips. You could stay here or you could lift your leg up, look down your leg. See if you can lift the side of your waist up. So often we sort of dip down. Lift and reach your rib cage up towards the ceiling as you lift your leg high. And then bring your hand and your knee down, tuck your toes, and lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. As you breathe in, raise your right leg into the air, and then come sort of halfway forward into plank and tuck your knee into your chest, arch your spine, and bring your nose towards your knee. Inhale, extend back. And exhale, bring your right knee, step outside of your right arm, lift it high, and then extend back. And your right knee, step outside of your left arm, see if you can lift it above your elbow, and then extend your leg all the way back. This time, step your right foot forward between your hands, your left knee down, your left hand off the mat, right hand onto your right thigh, turn your heart. Option to raise your right arm up into the air. You're going to lunge down as you press both feet into the floor. And bring your right hand down to the outside of your right foot. Tuck your back toes under. And come into three-leg down dog. Your right leg is lifted. Stack your right hip up on top of your left hip and bend your knee and lift your knee high. And square off your hips, right foot down next to your left foot. Inhale, raise your left leg. Aim to keep your hips square. Come halfway forward into plank. Arch your back. Bring your knee as far forward as you can. And tuck your nose to your knee. Inhale to extend back. And exhale, left knee to up outside of your left arm. Extend back. Twist across your body. Extend back. Step your foot between your hands. Back knee comes down. Shift your right foot off, right hand off the mat a little bit. Left hand to your left thigh and turn. Option to extend your arm into the air. So notice the difference when you land. You know, what's the sort of subtleties between moving and a pause. Personally, I find it harder to connect with the subtleties of the shapes when there's a lot of movement. And bring your hand down. Tuck your back toes under, three-legged dog. Stack your left hip up on top of your right hip and bend your knee. And bring your left foot down next to your right foot. Come up onto your tiptoes. Bend your knees, look between your hands. Hop or step to the top. Halfway lift, lengthen out. And exhale, fold down and in. Slide your hands around your calves and gently pull your torso towards your thighs.